Italian fashion designer Valentino Garavani has died at the age of 93. His foundation announced his death, saying a funeral will take place on Friday. The designer, who was usually known only by his first name, was the founder of the famed Valentino brand, which he turned into a business empire. He was also the recipient of several awards and honors, including the Golden Plate Award of the American Academy of Achievement and the Medal of the City of Paris. And joining me now is fashion journalist Jeanne Beker. Jeanne, it is wonderful to have you here with us. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here talking with you. I'm a little shaken. I was on a flight to Barbados, and the moment I landed, my phone just lit up with the news of Valentino's passing. So, yeah, it's very sad. I felt I had a special relationship with him. He was just such an incredible gentleman, the kindest, most generous of spirit human being that one could imagine, and such a major talent, such a force in the industry.
You interviewed him many times, so you certainly knew him. What was he like?
He was so kind. Just to give you an example of how incredible he was, I used to go to his shows, religiously, and he would hold them in Paris, and his design studio was in Rome. Unlike many of the other Italian designers, they usually design out of Milan studios, but he wanted to design from Rome because he found that city so inspiring, and he would show in Paris every season, and I would come in there sometimes with 5 minutes to showtime, and I'd be bustling around backstage with my microphone and my camera in tow and trying to get a soundbite from him. And he was busy, dressing the models and primping them and I honestly thought, well, there's no way he's going to give me the time of day. And he would always stop what he was doing and turn to me and give me some kind of, wonderful soundbite.
Oh.
He just wanted to make women look beautiful. He loved women so much. He just revered them, and he certainly did so much for us in terms of just the way he saw us and the way he saw femininity.
He wanted to make women look beautiful with his designs. What about his designs really stood apart from his peers?
They were unapologetically feminine. There were bows and ruffles and lots of times, gorgeous appliques and embroidery. But, that being said, it was not like they were ever overdone. Nothing ever felt too fussy or too much. He had a wonderful way of, restraining himself to some degree, but always injecting a great air of femininity into all the clothing that he gave us. And, and the way he celebrated the color red and empowered us with that color. That was quite wonderful, too. I mean, he just set new standards for dressing in red. And he was such a magnificent force and so adamant about inspiring the next generation, giving people chances. When he announced his retirement in 2007, 2008, a woman took over his label for very briefly, but he didn't like what she was doing because he was adamant that his vision be carried forward. So he hired the two people that were designing his accessories at the time, Grazia Ciori and Pier Paolo Picciolo, and Pier Paolo Piccioli, and he ended up having these people carry forth his vision and take it, to new heights. Even they did such a magnificent job. And then Grazia a few years ago went over to Dior, and Pier Paolo continued designing the most exquisite Valentino collections until his recent departure for Balenciaga. It's just such a musical chairs now in the fashion world. Designers coming, going, leaving labels. They're there for a couple of seasons. They're not. But Valentino came from an era where, designers really stood for something and they became such household names and they were such celebrated rock stars almost that, there was nothing flip about what he was doing. He had such a strong vision. And his partner, Giancarlo Giammetti, who they were actually lovers when they first met, back in the 60s, but then eventually just became business partners and very close confidants and great friends. And Giancarlo Giammetti is a big reason, I think, that Valentino could concentrate on his artistry when Giancarlo could take his brand and really market it in a most meaningful, global way.
One of those icons who only needs one name to be referred to, and you, of course, know exactly,
Exactly.
who he is, and he will be missed. Jeannie, thank you so much for your time today. It was fantastic talking with you. That is fashion journalist Jeanne Beker for us. Thanks again.